So I was testing out a foot bath recently, and just got a question about AC/DC current. So I was thinking back, and maybe this has happened to you, but if you've ever tested out maybe a foot bath, you put your feet in, and sometimes on a few of them, I would feel like a prickly, like electrical sort of staticky shock that would be around my ankles, or when I first put my that's a tongue twister. First put my foot in the water. So I actually found out what that was just today, and it's AC current. That's what it is, AC current. So you guys know there's a difference between AC current, DC current. Okay, AC current like flows, stops, flips, keeps turning on and off, basically the flow at a cycle of 60 hertz per second. So that's what's flowing throughout your whole house, that type of thing. You're always surrounded by 60 hertz per second, which is kind of like harmful EMF, not the best thing in the world. The body mainly runs DC. So, anyways, I was like thinking, you know, if I'm getting all this AC in the water, my body's DC or whatever, is that going to affect me in any way that's harmful or unhealthy? And what's interesting is, so I was doing some research, and if you run any AC current into the electrolysis process, it can actually slow down that process. Meaning, if you have any AC going back into the foot bath with the DC, which I found out most of them do, it can actually slow down the plates or the array's ability to create the negative polarity. It actually interferes quite a bit, even if there's a very, very small amount of AC. So how do you find out, basically? How would you know, right? And it actually has to do with the power supply. So if you get the foot bath, or you're talking to the company, you wanna ask them with the power supply that goes to the array. This is an electrical term I learned today. It's a ripple. That has to do with any of the AC that's going back in. Okay, along with the DC. So a lot of these power supplies will either say on it or not say anything at all. You have to find out. But we'll say low ripple, a lot of them. And a lot of times if they don't say anything, they're low ripple. That's pretty standard. Low ripple means that just a small amount of amps are actually in AC and are actually going back. I think this is a manufacturer. Let me check here. Yeah, I'm not going to take this now, but yeah. I've been on the phone off and on with manufacturers all day long. So anyways, I was also what I've been learning here about the power supply or whatever from an electrical engineer friend of mine. So if it has low ripple, you're getting 2 volts, somewhere around that, of AC going back into your unit. And even that small amount can really dramatically affect the pulling power of your foot bath. I swear these guys, see, a lot of them are nervous. Getting a call again from him. Because I'm basically doing all this research. I'm going to put it all out on the internet, so they're all freaking out. Some of them. That's too bad for them. So, anyways, so yeah, 2 volts totally interfere. Where was I? And then if it doesn't say, usually it's standard low ripple, something like that. So what if you just want a foot bath that's just pure DC? You'd have to get a power supply that had no ripple, none. I only know of 2 companies that actually modify their power supply to have absolutely no AC flowing back in. So that means no uncomfortable tickling or even prickling. It can be kind of uncomfortable sometimes in the foot bath, but also you're not gonna interfere with the pulling power of your foot bath. So I think that's really important. These companies make these foot baths, and then they don't give a shit about the power supply essentially, and a lot of them have running the AC back in, and it's basically affecting your detox potential. So ripple. That's what you gotta ask for, that's what you gotta look for. It's a weird term, but yeah, I thought that was really fascinating. Got to share that with you. Anyways, shoot me your questions.